Hello, the doc is in and welcome back to another chapter of Black Clover, chapter 339, Heavenly Severance. In the last chapter, we have Ichika, Yami's sister, as we get revealed, to one-shot a couple of bandits with some weird projection thingy, key-based thingy. We also have her deciding to grip Asa's skull like it's a ball, a very classic Yami thing. We also have Ryudo kind of revealing that he may have the ability of future sight, like from One Piece. And yeah, that's about it for the last chapter. So let's hop into this one. All right, so chapter starts off right where we left off. Asa's coming. He's like, "Oh my god, so you're Yami's sister?" And Ichika, she basically says, "Look, all right, I don't care about that guy, and I still don't like you." And as they're basically having this little moment or whatever, right, we have the people in the background. They're looking at this guy. They're like, "Hold on, Ichika's kind of grabbing this guy's head. I don't know. He don't really look like the rest of us. Is he a foreigner?" The racism was about to come out, but Ryudo comes in, grabs both of them, and he runs off, right? And he also kind of gives like the excuse of like, "Oh, you know, Asa, your buddy, I think he's healed by now. We should get going." Right? So they get to this house, right, and there's these giant magic koi fish. I assume that they might be magic, but they also might just be magic creatures. But nonetheless, right? You get there, got this one guy, his name is Mercuria Fumito, right? He's the healer. One of the koi fish spits out Libe, and he's basically like, "Hey, normally I'm able to heal people pretty fast, but I've never healed something like this before, so it took a little bit longer than usual," right? So he had a cute little reunion between the Libe and Asta, and it's really nice, right? Very cute, kawaii-desu, right? And then they get some food, everybody's eating, and so, you know, Asta's all happy. He's like, "Oh my god, this food slaps." But wait, PTSD. And so he's like, "Well, it's all been good and all, but I got to get going. So Ryudo, you mind telling me how I get home from here?" And Ryudo's like, "Look, all right, we just went over this a little bit ago. If you go home right now, you will lose. I promise you on everything, you will take this L harder than you've ever taken an L before." And Asa's like, "I have no choice. I gotta go back, all right? My mother figure got captured. Everybody else is in danger. I can't stay here too long." And Ryudo's like, "Look, man, don't even worry about all that. You got time to train. You should take some time, train here before you go back." And Asa starts pressing him. He's like, "Yeah, how would you know that? You know, I've been training my whole life. There's no more time to train." And so Ichika, she slaps the shit out of Asta, all right? She's like, "We've spoken about this before, right? Don't be getting fucking uppity with my shogun." And so she basically says, "I don't know what's going on with you, but I don't give a fuck. To be honest, my man, the healer, and Ryuya, they helped Jazz. I don't know what's going on back there, but you're a foreigner. Foreigners, as far as my country's concerned, bring disaster. But Ryuya and my man, the healer, have saved you and decided to put his trust in you and have you get stronger. So if you want to continue to disrespect his advice, I will cut you down right now, foreigner." Like I said, when she says foreigner, totally racist. It has all... That's like hard ER standards on her end. But nonetheless, right, after she gives her little speech and basically threatens to kill him right here, right now, Asa's like, "You know what?" He bows his head. He's like, you're right. You got a point. And so he apologizes. He's like, "Thank you guys for helping me. I take back my request to be taken home." And Ryuya is just like, "Very well then. All right, let's get to a little bit of training." And so they go on to this forest, right? And so Ryudo, he's kind of like, "Oh, you know, Lucius actually has pretty overwhelming physical and magical power. If you go back right now, you'd be completely outclassed in a fight. But there's an ability that I think can help you. It's called Heavenly Severance." And so Asu's like, he's thinking back to it. He's like, Heavenly Severance. Is that what Ichika did when she was fighting those bunch of bandits and one shot at them all at the same time? And so basically he's like, hold on, isn't that like magic power? He's like, no. It's all about the ki, my man's ki. Ki is the flow of vitality and energy that everyone consciously uses to output their Yoroku. And he's saying, and basically Yoroku means like think Dragon Ball, you got the ki barrier. It's like that. And so he explains basically, if you're able to focus in on your ki, you're able to control it. You're going to be basically able to project it out of your body and do Heavenly Severance, which at the end of the day is basically just like, I wouldn't say a ki blast, a form of like ki projection. I mean, it was literally ki projection because it's called ki in this, but I guess, yeah, it's like ki. It's like a point is, right, she's basically able to use her ki and project it, and she's able to cut the bamboo tree in half down the middle where she points her hand, right? So explain that how you will, but basically she's like, Ichika kind of explains, she's like, this is Yuriko Yoku in speed and creates an amount of force that ends up being explosive. And so then she's like, try it, foreigner. Again, she already knows his name, so the racism is just spilling out at this point. And so the healer guy, he's like, well, I don't know if that's going to be possible, all right? I mean, only 7 of you guys can actually pull this off, like, at all. And Asta, he's in his head, he's thinking about it. He's like, I don't know. I mean, I never thought I could use ki like that. I mean, is this kind of like Maniskin and yada yada yada? He's having Deku brain, if you know My Hero Academia, right? And so Ryudo's like, oh well, why don't you give it a try? Instead of using like ki, why don't you use like the anti-magic power you have in your body? And so Asa's like, well, alrighty then. So he hits the position, he aims up, brings the hand up, he goes cut, and then nothing. And the guy's like, as I assumed, ain't gonna work for a fort. And then the bamboo tree doesn't get cut this time. No. Instead, it just eviscerates. It just, I don't know. I wouldn't even say it burned away, because this is like the same color as like anti-magic stuff. So it's more like he just decayed the bamboo tree. And so basically Ryudo's like, great job. He starts laughing at everything. He's like, the bamboo ain't supposed to be able to wither because it's grown with Yoroku. So the two of them, they're like, holy shit, that he did not cut that shit. He phased it away. And so Ryudo's like, well, the reason why you were able to do it is because you had a pretty good foundation for this stuff for a long time. So with a little bit more experience, a little bit more work, you'll definitely be able to become really good at this. And so, right, Asta, I mean, this is big for him, because he's like, I really didn't think there was anything left for me, but he's like, I can still be strong, because I mean, he has to beat this one guy named Lucius, and he's completely broken in every conceivable way. So I can imagine that was pretty weighing on him. Like, even though he was in a rush to go back, he really didn't have a plan. And so he basically asks Ichika to help him out. And Ichika, after he makes this thing, he's like, he has renewed hope. She gives him the dirtiest look ever, and that is the end of the chapter. I mean, I don't know. The racism in Ichika is forever ever flowing, just like her ki. Overall, pretty good chapter. I mean, I think there's definitely is a good point of the fact that Asta is not forgetting about Clover King, but not getting too wrapped up in like being in the land of the rising sun. He's like, hey, I don't really even got time for this. And for all intents and purposes, as far as he knows, he doesn't have time for this. He has no contact with anybody from Clover Kingdom. The only person here who allegedly knows stuff is Ryudo. And so you can imagine, like, hey, he's like, I've never heard of someone who's able to do that. You've already said yourself you don't have magic power, so why should I believe that you know anything about what's going on in the Clover Kingdom, especially since theoretically you can't even go there. And well, I mean, he was able to be shut up, right? And he was told off by Ichika, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna trust y'all. So that's good, but I feel like it's gonna come up again. But I feel like the next time it comes up, it might be that the Black Bulls, specifically Noct, might be able to use his shadows to get over here and contact Asta somehow, or maybe send somebody over here. Who knows? But that's what I'm thinking as far as him maybe relapsing again. As for Ichika, I don't know. I mean, maybe she's just a mean person. Maybe. Because I don't know. She seems to be like a perpetual hater. Like, she is always hating on Asta. Now, maybe there's more to that. Maybe she said there's something about his personality type that she doesn't like in the last chapter. So maybe there is more to that, more backstory. And obviously we don't know like what's her relationship with the rest of her family. Is there more family members? Do they have any more siblings, or it's just her brother, and maybe her mom and dad, whoever they may be? Like, there's definitely going to be more that's going to be gone through here, but overall, I'm liking the direction that we're heading in. And I think that's about it for this chapter. Leave a like if you like, leave a dislike if you dislike. Comment. I don't know, just leave a comment. I have no ideas at the moment. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like these every time a new chapter comes out. And if you want to check out the other series I go over, JJK, One Piece occasionally, other series, can't remember them off the top of my head right now, feel free to check them out on the channel. You know, give a little swing on by, scroll through. I don't gotta watch anything. And yeah, thank you again for watching the whole video, or just this part because you're a weirdo. With that all being said, the doc is out. Peace.